Hi guys, in this video we'll be covering the various pathologies of the conjunctiva. So before that, we need to know there are two parts to the conjunctiva, which are the palpebral part, which is given in green over here, and the bulbar conjunctiva, which is given in orange over here. So the main functions of the conjunctiva are motility, articulation and protection. So those are the three main functions of the conjunctiva. So we'll talk about all the various conditions. So these are all small conjunctival degeneration. So one is pincicula, pterygium, and pseudopterygium. So pincicula is a grayish yellowish thickening of the palpebral fissure. Its pathology is hyaline degeneration of the subepithelial collagen tissue. This doesn't cross the limbus. So limbus is basically, if this is your eyeball and this part is your cornea. So this blue part which I'm going to draw is the limbus. So this will be the limbus over here. So it doesn't encroach into the limbus. In pterygium, there is a triangle fold of fleshy growth, the conjunctiva. So the pathology is disorder of the Bowman's layer of the cornea, and then the symptoms are corneal astigmatism, impaired ocular motility, and double vision. This encroaches into the limbus, into the cornea. So this causes all these symptoms. The treatment is surgical removal using you can use excimer laser, and keratoplasty is done in recurrent cases of pterygium. Sometimes you use mitomycin injection to ensure there's no recurrence of pterygium. So, and pterygium there is a adhesion between the layers of the conjunctiva and cornea. In pseudopterygium, uh, and there is no adhesion between the conjunctiva and cornea and sclera. So this may be due to say, corneal injuries or chemical injuries or burns. So there is pain and double vision, and treatment is lysis of adhesion, excision of scarred conjunctival tissue. There is adhesion in pseudopterygium. In pterygium, there is no adhesion. So I think I've told it vice versa in the previous time. So pseudoterrorism there is adhesion, in pterygium there is no adhesion. So then subconjunctival hemorrhage this is bleeding under the conjunctiva. Pathology can be idiopathic or usually due to hypertension. So any type of conjunctival injuries and then compromised vascular structure due to some kind of hypertension is going to cause subconjunctival hemorrhage. You don't need big treatment for this. You can just give a cold compress, reassure the patient, send them home. It's not a big issue. So then the other one is the calcareous infiltration. So calcified contents of goblet cells, lacrimal glands, meibomian glands. So this will be like small nodules or granules present in the conjunctiva. So this can be removed with scalpel under local anesthesia. And finally, conjunctival xerosis or drying of the conjunctiva, desiccation due to vitamin A deficiency. So the pathology is there's vitamin A deficiency, so there is keratinization of the epithelial cells. So this gives a characteristic clinical feature known as bite or spot. This bite or spot is nothing but the dead keratinized epithelial tissue. So treatment is your vitamin A supplementation that will clear all the symptoms. So the next most important condition is conjunctivitis. So if they ask anything about conjunctivitis, these are the set of points which you can give us the clinical features. So there will be hyperemia, chemosis, then papillae and epiphora. So this will be present in all type of conjunctivitis. So there are around 7 to 8 types of conjunctivitis. So it can be either bacterial conjunctivitis, viral conjunctivitis, parasitic conjunctivitis, then mycotic conjunctivitis, then persistent irritation due to some kind of dust or pollutants, allergic, toxic, and vascular disorders like your Steven Johnson syndrome. So in your bacterial conjunctivitis, the main cause is staph, strep, and then your pneumococcus are the three main causes of bacterial conjunctivitis. The symptoms are bleeding, and there are no follicles formation. There's yellow crusting, and there's increased number of granulocytes which touch the blood. And then viral is due to adenovirus, herpes simplex, and herpes zoster. So same bleeding, watery discharge, watery conjunctiva, and then increase in lymphocyte and monocyte if you check the blood. And then parasitic is due to three main parasites: onchocercosis. This is also known as liver blindness. So it causes conjunctivitis followed by keratitis or corneal infection, which spreads into the iris, iridocyclitis, and finally uveitis. So very dangerous condition. And other two are loa and nodose conjunctivitis. So these are all the parasitic conjunctivitis, and then you have mycotic conjunctivitis, which may be due to some fungi like aspergillus or mucor, and then persistent irritation due to some kind of pollutants or chemical irritants like makeup or something. And then allergic, you'll have extensive itching, eosinophilic granules, and granulocyte and lymphocyte increase. Finally, toxic, there will be presence of epithelial cells on the conjunctiva. So in any kind of infection due to bacteria or viral, there will be swollen lymph nodes. So that is another feature which you can write. So the antibiotics for the bacterial conjunctivitis are gentamicin, tobramycin, polymyxin. So there are topical antibiotics. In severe cases, you can give topical steroids like hydrocortisone and dexamethasone. And then about this chlamydia or trachoma, there are two types of disease. One is inclusion and other one is trachoma. Inclusion is D to T type, D to K types, and trachoma is your A to C. So trachoma is basically damage, corneal and conjunctival damage. So stage 1 is hyperplasia of lymph follicles. Stage 2 is papillary hypertrophy and pannus formation. Stage 3 is keratoconjunctivitis sicca, leads to ulceration and perforation of the cornea. So the examination methods for any type of conjunctivitis, you can mention slit lamp examination, eyelid aversion and examination. The investigations which you can write for all of these conjunctivitis are conjunctival smear and epithelial smear. So your allergic conjunctivitis or allergic keratoconjunctivitis is also known as spring catarrh. So that is also something which you need to know. Moving on to neonatal conjunctivitis, it may be due to chlamydia or gonococci. So this other conditions are pseudomonas and then hemophilus, staph, strep, and herpes simplex. So based on the onset of the neonatal conjunctivitis, you can detect the cause of the conjunctivitis. So if it's within hours, it's due to some kind of toxic condition. If it's within 2 to 4 days, it's due to gonococci, which is a gram-negative diplococci. And if you do a culture test, it'll be positive in positive growth in blood agar and chocolate agar. So 4 to 5 days, other bacteria like your staph, strep, and hemophilus and all those things. So 5 to 7 days is herpes simplex. You're going to see multinucleated giant cells, and then it's a negative culture. And then 5 to 14 days is chlamydia. You use GMSA positive, and then cytoplasmic inclusion bodies, and again negative culture. So the final topic for today are conjunctival deposits. So the various deposits which can be present on the conjunctiva are your adenochrome, or it's a brownish pigment. It's due to epinephrine oxidation. Iron, it is due to makeup. Argyrosis is silver accumulation. It is brownish or black in color. Ochronosis is present during alkaptonuria, so it's again brownish or black. There can be some kind of metallic foreign body which gets lodged in the conjunctivitis, and finally jaundice, which is yellow. So that is all about the conjunctival diseases, and I haven't added photos in any of these notes. I've already sent high yield images, so I'll just try to add more images in the next condition. Just remember that any conjunctivitis, you're going to have, if this is your eye and this is your conjunctiva, you're going to have some kind of congestion in the conjunctiva. So that is the primary clinical findings of conjunctivitis. They can either have nodules or some kind of shiny material or pigments or whatever, based on the disease which I spoke before. So it's not a very hard topic, just a lot of different diseases which you need to remember. Main ones are your pterygium, pseudoterrigium, pingicola, and your conjunctivitis. Bacterial, viral, allergic are most important. So that will be all for this video. I hope you find this video really useful for your preparation. Thank you.